I think you're only 4 behind or something like that.
It's just tough. It's how it happens sometimes. I like those situations the most. When I do something like that, it definitely upsets me, and it's on me. I told the team it's my fault.
It's still a gritty performance altogether by everybody. When you see a night where your shot isn't right there, when you see the rest of these guys step up, that makes you feel a little better. You don't have to carry the team every single day.
Yeah, definitely. Amo was amazing today. There's no way we in this game would work for him. Definitely going tonight, especially from the outside, and he had everybody's back. Other guys stepped up and played well as well. Deron Williams came off the bench. It was a big spark. George Farmer, guys stepped up, and we were right there. Except for the last couple of plays.
You were playing against Ricky Rubio, one of the rising stars of the NBA, and he's had with you for the most double-doubles, points and assists in the league. What was your impression of your first face-off against him?
Well, I played against him in the Olympics, so I'm familiar with him. He's a great young point guard, and he's going to be a great player in this league. He definitely has a lot of flash and flair to his game, and that's why the fans I think love to see him play so much. He just has a great feel for the point guard position.
Is this game changer since the Olympics?
Oh, yeah, definitely. He was 18, 19 minutes, so he's definitely matured, and you can see he's worked on his game a lot, and he's having a lot of success this year.
You have a knack for being able to hang in the air and get people to foul you. Have you ever seen someone like Morrow be able to do that from beyond the three-point line as much as he does?
Yeah, he has those 4-point plays down. They learned it from Jamal Crawford, so that's the best in the business, and he does a good job of selling it, especially when he gets hit a lot. People don't want him to run off threes like he was doing tonight.
Deron, I know you like those pressurized last-minute situations. When you struggle in it like you kind of did tonight, is it surprising to you? Is it?
It happens, man. You can't be great in every press situation. It's time to turn the ball over. It's time you miss shots. It happens. You're not gonna hang your head on it. Got one tomorrow. I'll be better tomorrow.
Anthony says he's looking at this Knicks game as kind of like a playoff type atmosphere, a playoff type game. How do you approach this game?
Yeah, definitely. We're heading to Brooklyn next year. Definitely want to make this a rivalry game, and I'm sure guys have had this one circled, and looking forward to it. So hopefully it'll be a good atmosphere.
How special was that from Anthony tonight, the way he played?
It was great. Like I said, he carried us tonight. Without him, we're not even in this game. It's not even a close game, and he was the reason we had a chance there at the end. The way he ran off those threes and hit free throws, he just stepped up tonight in a big way.
Deron, is this the hardest loss this season so far, just because of the way the game played?
We got a couple tough ones. We were right there and haven't won.
You've said the last game when you guys were having an edge regarding coming in with an extra day off or whatever with another team, that you might have more energy. They're going to be playing on their third back-to-back. You guys have done it before too, but do you expect the guys to have more energy tomorrow?
Yeah, we have to. We have to. We played tonight, but they played twice in a row, and they're in a tough game right now still with Boston. So we definitely, that has to be our focus, to come out with a lot of energy and try to attack them early.
Nice.
Good. Offensively we were in a groove. We started playing fast in the first half. Deron was finding me. Deron was finding everybody. Hunt played well. He matched Kevin Love's energy. He just had some unfortunate balls bounced the wrong way. It's just tough loss. We'd love to get this win going into New York tomorrow, but I'm still proud of the team. They really fought hard. We played really hard. We got to take this energy into New York tomorrow.
Anthony, you sprained your ankle basically the first play of the game after just coming off that big. How do you come off and have a game like this after that?
Man, I was just praying that it didn't stop me, so I didn't try to think about it. I knew after missing last game and not being able to move around yesterday, really, that I wasn't going to not play this game. So I know that we really needed that same effort that we had against Indiana, and we brought it even more against Minnesota. You just got to bring this energy against the Knicks.
10 times this season you've been fouled from beyond the three-point line, and 3 times you turned it into a 4-point play. Can you just talk a little bit about how you were able to do that and why people aren't using the scouting report on you behind the arc?
I don't know. I'm just shooting my normal shot and just trying to land on 2 feet and on balance. And if I get hit, then I'm going to go down. So. Something I learned from Jamal Crawford, my rookie. He used to get that call a lot, so I learned from him.
Avery was saying that it's not just about outside shooting with you now. He likes also the way you've been coming in on the inside and putbacks and things like that.
Yeah, it's something that, you know, when I first got here, I told him I could do it, but I kind of had to earn it on this team, and I like that. You earn that respect from a guy like Avery Johnson, who's been around, who's been on championship type teams. It's good for your confidence. And he does that not only for me, but for other guys. And, he just wanted me to show it in the game, and that's what I've been doing. Just trying to be aggressive and using my ball as a weapon.
Anthony, you mentioned that you'd like to have gotten obviously this win going into New York, but where is the confidence level after the last few games that you guys have playing against this next team tomorrow?
It's very high against anybody, but we know the importance of this game, not just because of the city rivalry, but because it's a playoff type game. We got to take that mentality into New York tomorrow.
Can you talk about the last 5 quarters? I mean, something seems to have clicked for you personally, and how much confidence do you take from that, or did you take from A to here and going forward?
It's just been me being aggressive. Deron's, when you're playing with a guy like that that's gonna find you and make life easy, you gotta take advantage of it. And it's not just me; it's other guys too. So that's just something that I'm trying to continue to build on, and our chemistry is getting better.
How did the ankle feel throughout the game, and how does it feel now? Is it feeling better, or is it
I just iced it, so it's feeling a little better. Keep getting treatment, ice it again. It's cool. So I'm gonna play through it anyway.
Anthony, when you hit the 4-point play to pull the team within one, how'd that develop in front of you? It looked like you were going up the second to touch your hands.
Yeah. I noticed that he was going under the screen when I took one step right, so I just came right back. And Deron found me, and he tried to recover, but he was off balance and he ended up hitting me. I just want to make sure I concentrated and hit the shot.
How bad you want that step back on Rubio?
Man, that was a big play for us. I just hit one, so the crowd was into the game. I really wanted that, but he just missed it.
Do you think back to your NBA debut tonight at all? With giving
a little
how high
bit, it felt good a little bit, but we got the win that night, so I really wanted to get the win tonight.
You get the feeling at the start of the game as you start shooting that it's that kind of night you're going to struggle there for you? I mean,
what'd you say?
There's certain shots or the way the game unfolds, you feel like this is the night I'm really going to light it up?
You just got to, I'm not sure. I feel the same every time I shoot, so if I'm missing or if I'm making, I feel the same way about it. So I just knew that if I hit it, when I hit a few, that I was going to keep making it. And I knew Dan was going to keep finding me. My teammates kept finding me. So it was just, I was just lucky and blessed to have, the guys finding me like that on time.
How the hoop look like for you? Because sometimes players, on fire.
It look orange. Yeah. Like Nets. Now it felt good. Anytime you hit a couple shots, it kind of seems like the rim, gets a little wider. So it's a good feeling to have in any shooter that I've watched growing up. I've seen them get hot like that, and it's good to be able to get hot like that in the game and get compared to some of those guys.
Is there something you feel before the game starts that maybe you think that you're going to be hot that night?
My body felt great. Obviously had an off day yesterday. That was huge. Got a lot of rest. Iced my ankles. So that was the main thing. Just being able to get on my feet and finally have some time to let my legs rest. That's huge in terms of shooting.
Despite the loss, are you just happy the way the team's playing right now?
Yeah, I'm so proud of the team right now, man. With all the injuries and all the guys that are even injured are still around. They're still cheering us on, watching the games. And beyond that, we're just a tight team. We do everything together. We go out to eat. We do a lot of stuff together. So this is good chemistry. One of the best teams in terms of chemistry I've been on. And we're playing hard and playing for this.
Ever since last year, you've been one of the guys that embraced this rivalry. As a guy from Atlanta, where does that come from? I know you mentioned you have MSG, so you see him.
I'm from North Carolina.
North Carolina. There's a lot of guys from Atlanta. So
that's by way of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it's huge. You kind of just know everybody around here is a basketball head. Everybody's a basketball head. So the rivalry is big. On Twitter, Facebook, and you just see people out there gonna bring up Nets versus Knicks. So it's fun. It's a fun rivalry. It's fun to play in MSG, and we gotta bring the same energy, man. Trying to get a win on the road again.
You're playing against Carmelo next week, or in your next game against New York. How is that matchup gonna play out, and what do you think about Melo?
Oh man, he's a great player. On top of that, he's a great dude. Kind of one of those guys that have seen everything I've been doing since I came in the league, and he's respected me. He's a guy that I've been watching since he was in high school. He's always been one of my favorite players. So I love matching up against him, playing against him. Looking forward to playing against him tomorrow.
You talked last year, I know you were hoping to get an invite to the three-point contest. I mean, the way you're playing now, what do you think about your chances for this year?
You know, hopefully they're good. You know, I'm not really thinking about it. If that, you know, I mean, they've seen everything, so I mean, there's nothing else I can do at this point. But you know, if I don't make it, fine. If I do, you know, I feel like I'm gonna win it, and it'll just be an honor to go and compete against the best shooters in the league on that stage. You know, coming from everything I came from, just be another blessing from God. Just be thankful for it.
Jump rope in, running, shooting, box jumps. That's about all that was new. We're going to start working on some lateral movement like slides and stuff like that soon.
Does that feel like good progress? Actually,
it feels great. Yeah, I had no idea how excited I would be to jump rope.
You were pretty excited to jog last week.
Yeah, you know,
earlier this week.
It's been fun. You know, spirits have definitely been high.
Has there been a moment where you were like, I'm feeling okay about the foot? Like any?
I think it's through the whole process I felt that way. You know, there hasn't really been a moment where I've been hesitant or worried about it.
So what else do you need to do before you can actually get on the court and practice?
I think lateral movement, some pivoting, and more jumping. You know, we're trying to do the minimum right now as opposed to the maximum. You know, do the minimum, see if it's sore after that. You know, if it's sore after that, we know to pull back. If I was doing a lot, you know, it could be anywhere in those reps where it could hurt. But since I'm doing very little of each rep, we know that it could be a certain motion.
Do you think, I mean, do you think you could be back next week in terms of practice?
I don't know.
Or is that too soon?
I just took a little pocket schedule to Timmy, told him to point to a game, and he folded it up and put it in his pocket.
Classic boss right there.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Hey, that's a great word. Gritty performance. You know, we laid it all on the line. You know, we had some major contributions from some guys, and you know, Deron Williams, obviously Anthony had the big shooting night. You know, Bogans, Humphreys, those guys working inside. Deron with his defense. So again, you know, it's just a gritty performance by our guys. You know, we tried to conserve some energy. And we had some pretty good energy for the duration of this game. But they're a deep team. They're a team that's probably going to be a playoff team in the Western Conference. And their big guys are just a handful inside.
Considering Anthony's ankle injury, and then the first play of the game, he lands on it again, and then you see him go off and have a career night scoring-wise.
Yeah, he was just on fire, and our guys were finding him. Guys were setting great screens for him. He was just letting it fly. And, you know, every ATO play or timeout play that we drew up for him, he executed it perfectly. I think he was perfect. So he was special tonight. It was a special performance.
Were you guys surprised a little bit by Pekovic at all? It seemed like he
coming in, he had been playing pretty good. And you got to remember, you know, most of our guys on the front line are pretty much 6'8" and 6'9". And we just don't have a lot of shot blocking right now. So when he catches you deep like that, it's pretty hard to get around him or block his shot. So he did a good job of sealing. He's a big body. And it all started also with Rubio's pick and rolls, and he and Rittenau are finding him underneath the basket. And when he's rolling down with that big body, it's pretty tough for anybody to handle.
Avery, the way Deron has played lately, I know he played well defensively tonight, but 5 out of 18 or whatever it was, I mean, that has to be something that...
Sometimes the ball doesn't bounce your way, and had a couple of his shots that he normally make didn't go down, but you know, that's just the way it is some nights. But again, for us to score 105 points, obviously our opponent scored 108 points, a little too high. But again, you know, they really did a good job of attacking us, getting to the free throw line, and they made their free throws. You should see a team shoot 32 free throws. Rarely do you see them make 29 or 30 like Minnesota.
It's frustrating to let a performance like that from Morrow slip away and loss.
Yeah, again, it's tough, but, you know, our guys were battling. You know, Morrow, you know, he got in a little foul trouble, and I'm kind of debating on when to bring him back. And we got him back in around the 5-minute mark because we needed him in the game. Because we got you know, we're in a stall position offensively.
How much does Anthony's game develop beyond just three-point shooting?
Well, you can see it now. You see him tip in underneath the basket. He didn't make that play last year. He's doing a much better job of moving without the ball, much better job coming off screens. He's not just a spot-up shooter.
You mentioned Deron Williams. Go ahead.
What about, I was going to ask the same question, what about less than 4 minutes, you took Deron out, you had your second 5 out of the room before, and they actually cut the deficit for you, and Jordan Williams.
Yeah, they did a nice job, and they cut the deficit and basically got the lead. We had the lead there, you know, by 2 for a stretch, and they were rolling pretty good, and Jordan was anchoring that. He did a good job defensively, defending the paint, and he did a nice job of finishing around the basket. So, you know, for a guy, you know, that we had in the D-League, that we didn't know if he was if we were healthy, you know, what type of playing time he would get. He's in much better shape. He's got good hands, and did a nice job for us.
Deron had 2 turnovers down the stretch. Did you want him to do something else on those plays, or was it just them?
Oh, he was just attacking. Lost the ball, and you know, we were trying to run something for Anthony, and you know, they just got their hands on the ball, and unfortunately, it didn't work out for us. But we had pretty good execution. A lot of the stuff that we work on in practice, the guys executed it pretty good whenever we've had a chance to practice or have shoot runs.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.